What's up, everybody? Dave Bartosiak here, and I've got another chart of the day for you. Going back to the well with a name we've talked about in the past. Of course, everybody's always talking about Tesla, ticker TSLA. So really interesting stuff. There's been a huge run up in Tesla, right? We saw that happen immediately following the election results, taking the stock on a ride from basically 240, 250, nearly doubling, getting all the way up to a high of 488.54 on December 18th. Since then, backlash from Doge and among other things have caused a slump and a pretty hefty slump at that. You can see here, RSI getting oversold as that stock rallied higher, takes back down under. This is a pretty decent sell signal usually. If it's not like a sell and go short, but it is usually a signal that, hey, you know, the overbought condition is really cooling off, and maybe you should head for the exit. So we see that back in mid-December, but it continues to unwind. Now on the flip side of that, we do have a buy signal down here. Now, where is this buy signal? This is basically March 12th or so. Now, you had a double dip on that low, a little bit of a rally and then a double dip. And then now this is famously becoming called the Waltz bottom. Now, you guys know I don't care much for politics, so I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I'm here to make money and talk about the market. However, famously, Tim Walz, who ran for vice president on the Democratic ticket, he was on stage and points out Tesla stock down at 225 and kind of giggled about it a little bit. And ever since then, we've had a rally. Really, did he have anything to do with it? Probably not. It's just more of a coincidence down here. But you do see the stock rally up a few days in a row here. And yesterday's action, so yesterday being Monday, March 24th, you see shares get really close to that 200-day moving average. And 200-day moving average basically came into play today. So I got my moving average ribbon up here again today. I had the 20-day and the 100-day because, you know, I love just looking at the 50 and the 200. So you see that 50 at 330.65, the 200 at 285.20. Today's high intraday, 283.60. So really close to that. And initially, it looks like a little bit of a failure, right? There's some selling that's coming in there. Of course, it's not the end of the day yet. Who knows where this market goes into the bell? We are off the lows. We can tell that much, and we'll see if it does continue higher. In terms of bounces, that's actually pretty mild. And I could show you just how mild it is if we go ahead and draw a fib over here. So we go from the top over here to the bottom. And remember, why is this all weird with the colors? I don't know if you guys remember, we were doing some fib extensions using these negative numbers. So we're going to take some of those off. So this looks a little cleaner. And there we have it. So you see the move off the lows sort of stalling right at this 23.6% retracement. You're getting that confluence of resistance. So whenever you have multiple indicators meeting near the same place, that's when I call that a confluence of resistance. That's something I stole from Joe DiNapoli. That's a whole nother school of thought you guys can check out. But anyway, you do have the selling pressure there kicking in right at these levels. We're going to see how long that lasts because, I mean, this could be a rejection that takes this thing lower. I mean, it certainly could. We're not out of the woods yet. But should it fight its way through, I think that 38.2% retracement level will likely be where that 50-day is. So something to keep an eye on. Even if Tesla manages to break on through, that 320 level is going to be pretty tough. So we'll see what happens. Now, again, that doesn't mean you can't do it. It's done it many times before. And here on the flip side, I want to show that this move has been totally erased, basically. This is just pre-election move to the highs. Pretty interesting that we sort of flirted with breaking down below that level, but that was bought. So it's good that the buyers came in here. And if you see this, these big volume days that came in to support that, and then the big volume to break it out. So that tells me that this previous floor is in there pretty good. So that's a good level. If Tesla continues to pull back, you can go ahead and buy just above that, put your stops just below it. Probably a pretty safe risk versus reward for you there. So something to keep an eye on there. And again, we do know we're going to have the short-term pressure. It's going to have to work itself out. And we've seen that pressure before, right? Saw it here on the other side of the 200 day. You see that dip below, follows the rally above, and then ultimately it runs out of gas. So we've seen these sort of what I call stop grabbers, where price action will take it just on the other side of an important indicator or important level, and then they whip it on back down. These algos love to do that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Tesla rally up over that level tomorrow, but then the time will tell. That's going to be the test. Do you get that breakaway volume to push to the upside, or is that when they flush it? And we won't know that answer to that until tomorrow at the earliest. All right, folks, there you have it for my chart of the day. I'm going to have something awesome again for you tomorrow, depending on what I see in the market today. So for Zacks and everybody at Zacks, I'm Dave Bartosiak, and I'll see you tomorrow.